As a qualified accountant working with property investors, I can tell you the number one mistake I see in Xero. Your rental income is almost always wrong, but there's a fix. It's now easier than ever with ChatGPT, which does 90% of the heavy lifting for you. Let me show you how with a full demonstration. So starting from the Xero dashboard, then we're going to navigate under reporting to the profit and loss statement. From there, then we're going to select the relevant reporting year by clicking this arrow here. In this case, clicking last financial year. Basically, just make sure you've got the correct date for your reporting year in the top left. This is for a demo company, so yours is going to look slightly different. I'm going to click update. Okay, so this shows the profit and loss for the property company. Key one to point out, then you've got the rent figure at the top, which is 9,037. But importantly, because this is all being pulled in Xero from your bank feeds, it means that any kind of fees that have been deducted by your letting agent when they've paid you out the net rent figure at the end of the month or whenever it is they pay you, that isn't going to be taken into consideration in Xero. So we're going to have to make an adjustment for this. What we're going to do is conduct a manual journal for this. But in order to save time and to keep things really straightforward, we're going to use ChatGPT to basically help collate all the information from the various different rental statements we receive from our letting agents. If we don't do this, importantly, it's going to mean that our rental income is understated in the profit and loss, and also our expenses are not correctly accounted for. And if this goes into our final year accounts, it's going to mean that our information is incorrect, and therefore our accounts are inaccurate. Okay, so what we'll do now is I'll just show you what information you need to conduct this. So firstly, then you're going to need a series of rental statements which are provided by your letting agent. They normally send you one every month. So just make sure you're keeping these in a file so you can refer to them later on. It's basically going to show you the amount of rent that was taken from the tenant, any kind of fees for managing the property that were deducted, and then also any maintenance fees as well, which are also deducted, and then the payout amount. There should be 12 of these for the year, assuming they give you one every month. I'd also recommend getting hold of, in the Xero, click under the profit and loss, click under the rental income line on the profit and loss, and that's going to give you then a full breakdown for the year of all the different rent that you receive throughout the year. You can then take a screenshot of that and save it. So just to show you where, if you're in your profit and loss, you'll have the rent figure at the top. Basically anything that's blued in Xero means you can click on it and that'll expand then into the report, which I just showed you. Okay, so now that we've got all of our information, we're going to click over to ChatGPT. Importantly to note, if you're going to be uploading files into ChatGPT, the kind of basic free version isn't going to allow you to do this. You're going to have a paid for subscription. Otherwise, it's going to give you only so many uploads you can process in a 24-hour period, and that's not going to be fit for purpose for us. So you're going to have an actual subscription to ChatGPT. I'd also recommend, just with regards to uploading information into ChatGPT, I would always recommend that you redact things, a bit like I showed you in the rental statement. You can see that I've redacted the information of the address. It was a PDF. By going into, if it's a Mac, for example, there's a way to redact information. There's also other software which is available to help you redact things. That's just going to make sure that all your information is secure. Okay, so now we're in ChatGPT, then we're going to have to record the prompt or type it in. I always recommend making a recording of it. It just saves a lot of time. I will show you what the prompt that I'm going to use. Sometimes you need to test and adjust just to make sure you get what ChatGPT to do what you want it to do. What we'll do now is I'll just record it and you can see what works for me. And then also we'll then upload the files. Okay, let's go for it. I'm a property investor. I'm completing my end of year accounts. I'm using Xero accounting software. What I need to do is make an end of year adjustment for all of the different fees that were deducted by my letting agent to arrive at the net rent figure, which is included in Xero. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a series of files which comprise of rental statements for the property for the 12-month period, which ran from the 1st of April 2024 to the 31st of March 2025. I'm also going to send you a screenshot from Xero which shows all the different income from rent which was received over that period. What I would like you to do is firstly match all the different rental payments in Xero with all of the statements which show you how much rent was paid to me. I also then want you to total up all of the different amounts of expenses which were deducted by the letting agent. So for things like letting fees, maintenance, etc., I want you to categorize that and total it all up for me. After that, I want you to then propose a journal entry which I can make in Xero at year end to ensure that all that information is captured in Xero correctly and that rent and expenses align with what's in the rental statements. What I'm going to do shortly is upload a series of files. I will tell you when it's okay to proceed after I've updated all the files. Okay, just let ChatGPT do its magic now. Okay, see, if I'd had to type that, it would have taken me ages, depending on how quickly you type. I can just click enter, it saves a lot of time. Click this button now. It's then going to kind of wait for me to upload the files. So ChatGPT only lets you upload 5 files at a time, which is fine. So we'll just do it in a couple of batches. So what we'll do now is we'll upload the first 5 files, put those in. I'll just tell him, I'll just type in more files to follow, then post those first 5. Let's do the second 5. More files to follow. And then we'll put the last 3 in. This is all of the files. Now upload. Okay, you can just see it kind of working away. It's reading back what it's doing. So it's taking all the different rental payments. It's basically matching what was in the rental statement with what was in Xero, which is great. So we can just check everything's there correctly. Just saves having to do this manually, which is perfect. It's saying there all Xero rent receipts for the year exactly match the letting agent's net payments. Happy days, that's good news. It's totaling them all up now, so it's saying total of £10,200 of rent was received. And you've got expenses there, it totals up as £1,931, and it tells you what was paid out. It's got a, for each month, it's done a kind of a breakdown of all the different expenses and income. It's worked out how much the management fees were. It's given you a breakdown of the repairs and maintenance and what it all was. And it's basically grouped them into a series of different categories, so we can total them all up. Now this is the best thing. So it's basically just put it all together and it's proposed a journal for us. I'll show you in a second how to conduct a manual journal in Xero. This is clever because it's basically, we're working off accruals accounting in this place. So if this was for your personal tax, you'd be using cash-based accounting. So basically any receipt of rent is just treated as received when it goes into your bank account. With accruals-based accounting, it'll basically work off the dates of the rent as per the rental statements rather than the date it was actually paid into your bank account. So that's a key difference. So it's going to give us actually an adjustment for some of the rent which was received in the 24-25 reporting year, but actually relates to rent that from the following reporting year. Yeah, I'm just going to produce a consolidated journal. Okay, provide me a journal with a description that I can copy and paste into Xero. It basically is going to then tell me what to put into a journal. So from Xero, then if we click under accounting, manual journals, if you don't have access to this, you may need to go in and change your settings. So you can click under settings and then basically give yourself the correct user access to be able to conduct manual journals. So you'll need advisor settings rather than just a standard one. Then click new journal. Okay, what we can do now is just keep referring back to our ChatGPT. It literally gives us the narration, which we can copy and paste in. It gives us the date, so 31st of March 25. And we're literally going to have to go through and copy this in. So if you're not familiar with journals, basically you have debits and credits. Okay, I haven't really got time to go into all the details of that in this video, but in terms of basic bookkeeping, debits have to equal credits, otherwise it's not going to enable you to post the journal. So that's kind of one of the principles of accounting, that every debit has a corresponding credit. Okay, so we've got the narration in there, we've got a date in there, we just need to then put in the different lines. So it says debit agent fees and maintenance expenses. That's actually no use to us. We want to separate agent fees and maintenance expenses. So we'll just tell ChatGPT to do that now. I want you to separate agent fees and maintenance expenses because we wouldn't group them together in Xero. We would like to separate them into separate accounting codes. There we are, so they're separated now. So first it's saying a debit of management fees. So we might have a different name for our accounting code as per our chart of accounts. But we'll put the debit amount in there. Description will copy down from the narration. Accounting code, whatever your accounting code for repair for letting agent fees is. So in this case, it's letting and professional fees. Next one then is going to be repairs and maintenance. So whatever your name for that expense is. So in this case, we use repairs and renewals. Sometimes, it's one of the annoying things about Xero. It copies down. It tries to make debits equal credits, and sometimes it copies down a number which is wrong. So we have to just manually do that. So that's the amount for repairs and renewals. The next one then we have to do is prepaid rent, £920. That's for the amount of rent which falls into, even though it was received in this reporting year, it actually is related to the next accounting period. If this business used cash-based accounting, like for example for a sole trader, we wouldn't have to do this, but this, because it's a limited company, we do. Whatever the relevant accounting code is for you, and again, Xero's tried to manually put it in, which is wrong. So we put in the correct amount for prepaid rent, and then finally we're going to have to do one for rent receivable. Again, it's tried to put that number in, but I want to check it's accurate before we put it in. And that's basically for the rent, which we hasn't received, gone into Xero because it was deducted by the agent to pay for things like their fees. So what we do now is put that number in, and we can see that everything balances up. So all the debits equal the credits, both amounts total up and agree. So what we can do now is we can click post. We go on to now reporting profit and loss. So rent receivable now is increased to the correct amount as per the rental statements, as letting and professional fees, which is now correct, and repairs and renewals has been adjusted for the repair fees, which were deducted by the agent from our gross rent that they received on our behalf. What we've done now is we've done an end of year adjustment. If we hadn't been using ChatGPT, we'd have had to basically go through all of those statements and total them all up manually ourselves, probably using something like Excel or Google Sheets to input all the data into. We've used ChatGPT. It's probably saved us about 20 minutes at least, probably more if you're not used to doing this. Obviously, I do this on a regular basis. If you're something you don't do regularly, then it would probably take you a lot longer. So really useful way of saving some time using ChatGPT and AI. I think it's just really important. Just the first time you do this, you just need to go through and just check all the numbers are accurate. Don't just rely on ChatGPT. If you're unsure, then speak to your accountant who should be able to assist you with this. As journal entries are quite advanced from a sort of accounting and bookkeeping perspective. So if you're not comfortable with this, make sure you get your accountant to assist you. But the important thing is now our rental figure is accurate as are our expenses. It means that goes into our final end of year accounts and they're going to be accurate rather than rent being understated as it would have been before we made this adjustment. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, you're going to love this next one where I talk about Xero's new AI auto reconciliation feature and how you can start using it in Xero today. Watch the video now.